Heyo, how's it going, everybody? I hope anyone out there who's watching this right now or at some point in the future is having themselves a fantastic day today. Welcome, welcome. My name is Relikai, and I am not going to be playing a video game on the internet. Yeah, this is a little experiment, a little test, shall we say, of a skill set that I myself have not, you know, really delved in, not really honed over the course of the time that I've been streaming, which has been a while now at this point. So it's kind of crazy that this is the first time that I'm ever actually getting to this category, I suppose. But yeah, we're just chatting tonight. I am weirdly nervous about this because I don't know. I actually don't know if I can survive an entire stream just based on chatting, because, you know, I have like zero personality. So you know, to try and fill 2 hours of dead space when you don't have when you're not that interesting, you don't have a personality, it's tough, man. It's tough. Have you tried it? I bet you haven't, you know, because folks who are watching this are probably a lot more interesting than I am. So we'll see how long I can survive here. But how's it going, everybody? How's it going, Patat? Lee, hope you guys are doing all right tonight. Appreciate y'all stopping in. The yapper himself, yes, me, the master yapper. I can't. Everybody knows that when you want those quality just chatting streams, it's Relly that you go to. He has such a long and storied history of those just chatting streams. How long have I been streaming? Now it's probably like 5 years. Yeah, and hold on one second. Yeah, it's always been there's always been, you know, a game there to take care of me, to make up for my for me not being as interesting as whatever game that I'm playing. So it's this is scary. It's uncharted waters. I don't know how folks do it. I guess again, by being interesting, that helps out a whole lot. Last 2 weeks been something else for me, but things are going, I guess. Hey, as long as they're not stopping, that's what we're hoping for. Well, I guess go ahead, Lee. Let us know what's going on with you. That's what we do, right? You know, we talk, we yap, I guess we engage. That's what this stream is supposed to be about, right? Yeah. So yeah, let us fill us in, clue us in, spill the tea, or the beans, as folks in my generation might have said once upon a time. You know, just have to keep saying what happened in your day. Well, I mean, the thing about it is that, like, my days are not like very interesting. I mean, I had to do mandatory overtime today. That's fun, isn't it? Hearing about like folks having to work more at their slave wage jobs that they engage in. That's the quality content everyone likes to hear about. And I mean, you know, I didn't eat until like 5 p.m. because of that. Supposed to stay at the office all day long, but me and my roommate were like, nah, fuck that. If I'm supposed to be doing mandatory overtime, I'm gonna be doing it in the comfort of my own house and skipping rush hour. Ain't that some quality sticking it to the man, you know? Yes, sir. I guess something that I could also mention is that our micro center, our micro center is gonna be opening up on Friday, so that'll be cool. I think my roommate and I are gonna try and stop by there next Tuesday when we go into the office, because it's closer to the office than it is to us, so it'll be just much more convenient to be checking it out at that point. We'll see how many GPUs are left over from that opening day. I predict none. But there will probably be a lot of RAM. RAM is really fucking expensive right now. Thanks, AI. True though. Yes, sir. Also, Predator Badlands is gonna be coming out on Friday, which is something that my roommate's really excited about. I'm decently excited to be checking it out. I'm not as big of like a Alien and Predator fanboy as he is, but you know, I appreciate them. I appreciate them for what they do, what they offer, what they serve up. You know, if I get a quality product in front of me, I'm not gonna say no to it. So, yeah. So that is largely the things that have happened to me and are going to happen to me. So now, you know, I don't know what to do, because goddamn, you see, this is you know why I don't do just chatting, because it's like I don't know. I guess there are ways that I could make it more interesting, but it would feel pathetic. I could look up like fucking icebreaker subjects, or you know, I could pull up a random wheel of topics to you know what? That actually just made me think of something. Let me see. Did you just see that Assassin's Creed that released this year? Wait, what? Oh, are you talking about the game? The Assassin's Creed Shadows? Okay, the way you worded that made it sound like there was like a new Assassin's Creed movie or something, and I was like, what? They made another one? 4.3 million in 6 months of release, while it took 450 million to make and advertise the game. Those are certainly numbers. Those are certainly numbers that that you threw out there. So yeah, you said you saw it. That doesn't sound like you played it. So did you see someone else playing it, or did you see it out in the wild, like on the shelf or something like that? You know, for the PlayStation, not for Xbox, because who plays a fucking Xbox nowadays, you know? Ghost of Yotei made the same amount in 3 weeks. Aha, look at that. Well, I was told that if the main character in Ghost of Yotei had big, huge fucking knockers and then also put some makeup on, that it would have sold 1 million copies already, even though it already sold 1 million copies. Yeah, fucking dudes on the internet are just, they never fail. They never fail to make me, just, you know, feel like so much more of an accomplished human being, despite the fact that I have literally done nothing of note with my life. So thank you. Thank you all to all the weirdo incels who can make just an average person just feel so big by virtue of you being so small. No, just saw the news. I see. Good stuff. Well, speaking of Ghosts of Yotei, I did actually see this video the other, actually about a week ago or something like that, where this guy was talking about the way in which like the main character draws her sword, because she does like a back draw. She wears her sword on her back. Shit. Okay. I thought I was going to be able to let the autofocus just rock, because it was holding up okay. But now I see that was a mistake. So, all right, we're gonna lock it in there. So yeah, she does like a back draw, but the thing is that like whenever characters in video games have done back draws before, they always cheat by just making the sword clip through their scabbard. So what she actually does is something that's pretty cool. She like takes her sword and she basically like throws it out of her scabbard, catches it by the blade, and then pulls the rest of the blade out. And it looks super slick. And then she, like, you know, again, takes it by the blade, tucks it back into the scabbard, and then just lets it, like, fall in. Obviously, it's impractical to be able to just, like, do that, like, really quickly unless you practiced every day for an entire year or something like that. But it's, like, it's fine. We can allow a little bit of fantastical leeway, you know, for our main character to, like, look a little bit cooler, you know? So, it was interesting to see that. I almost want to play the game just based on that alone, because, yeah, the animation just looks super slick. How's it going, Maiden? Izuku Midoriya, my Deku isn't always going to mean you. Yep, from now on, Deku is the name of a hero. Folks give Deku a lot of shit, you know, and I have always resented that. I have loved Deku from day one. I think he's a very good boy, and I think especially now that everyone loves Superman, where's Deku's due, huh? Where's Deku's flowers? Because he's literally just Superman, except that he cries a lot more. And you know what? That's fine. That's fine. I also appreciate just how much he sort of you know, subverted the expectation of a, you know, typical shonen hero. You know, in a lot of ways he follows the typical shonen hero path, but, you know, based on just, like, typical shonen standards, Bakugo should have been the protagonist of the show, but he wasn't. He wasn't. Even though, like, lots of people think Bakugo's a lot more interesting, which he kind of is, so, you know. But yeah, I mean, like, Deku needs to get his due at some point. Again, now that everybody likes Superman, we should probably start putting some recognition on our boy Midoriya's name. The only things I've seen from people was just saying that it's just Ghost of Tsushima again. Well, that's typically how a sequel tends to go. At least the first one, you know. So that being said, is the story the same? Is it a direct sequel, or is it like a separate storyline that you don't have to have any context from the first game to play? I feel like that's typically how big studios want their sequels to be, so that people can play the first game or play the second game even if they haven't played the first game, because they heard word of mouth about how good the first one was, and so people can just jump in and play the second one. I always thought that Deku is more like Spider-Man. I guess you could think of him in that regard. Because I mean, yeah, he does. I guess more. He's more like Spider-Man in the ways in which he receives his powers, which I guess is the thing that most people, again, especially people who watch shonen, tend to focus in on, is just the powers and all that sort of stuff. I looked at Deku more as a character, and as a character, he's much more akin to Superman. Not to say that, you know, Spider-Man isn't altruistic and he doesn't, you know, try and do, you know, everything that he can in order to, you know, save people, but in terms of, like, Peter's got other things going on. He's got other interests. He's got other stuff that he's concerned with. And so does Superman, but a core component of Superman's character is just how much he wants to help people, how much he, you know, saving people is part of who he is. So that's why, in terms of characterization, I think of him much more resembling Superman. It's separated. Oh, the storyline for Ghost of Yote? Nice. Well, then maybe I can get inside of that at some point. Holy whoa, I just talked to a girl and Maiden's just gone off into LARP town. We'll put her over there and just and let her have at it. I could see that, him being a symbol of hope like Superman. Yeah, I would say so, especially in terms of like his dynamic with, you know, his class, because you know, he definitely gets people rallied up. Is it the final season of My Hero happening like now or soon? I thought it had already ended, but I guess it hadn't. I'll have to catch up on that at some point. I think it was it's happening now. Oh, okay. Good stuff. Then yeah, I'll eventually at some point I will get to it, you know. I've been feeling the anime itch recently. I haven't been watching a whole lot of anime at all in like the past maybe couple of years or so. Even the anime that I was like looking forward to the most this year, which was the second season of Call of the Night, I still haven't gotten to. But since the temperature is starting to go down, I'll probably try and start watching it again, because I do sort of associate that show with more like, I don't know if it was because I just watched it when it was more around this time of year when it was cooler outside or something like that, but I just like associate it with that feeling. It's sort of the same way that I associate Persona 4 with cold and rainy, not just because that happens a lot in the game, but when the game first came out, it was like September, I think it was September of 2008 or so, and so when I was playing it, it was cold and rainy a lot of the time. So now, like, when it's cold and rainy outside, I feel like, you know, oh, this is like Persona 4 weather. I love it. And so now, for me with Call of the Night, it just being cooler is makes me feel like, oh, I want to watch Call of the Night right now. Bakugo versus AFO is hype. I don't even know who that is, so I'll just take your word for it, and whenever it ends up happening, I'll be like, all right, let's go. How's it going, Miami? Hope you guys are doing well tonight as well. Yeah, welcome to my Yap Fest. I'm just gonna be yapping for the next 2 hours. I mean, we're doing okay so far. 20 minutes down, you know. Haven't had too much dead air, I suppose. So yeah, I think we're doing okay for right now, knock on wood. But you know, at any moment the wind could come all the way out of my sails. So we'll just have to see. Power scale agenda, people are funny, specifically the ones I know aren't serious at all. Well, I mean, if they're doing it unseriously, then yeah, then it's just a joke. But for some people, it's not a joke. And how dare you even imply that it's a joke? I know this one dude out there who I guess is like a Godzilla power scaler or something like that. And yeah, he's not a very quality person. He's not a quality human being. And then, you know, there's like the anime power scalers, the fucking Dragon Ball power scalers, the My Hero Academia power scalers. I mean, just nerds in general. You know, nerds in general just kind of need to learn to get a grip. That's my 2 cents about it. We'll be right back after they missing. Who's missing? Who? We gotta find them if they're missing. The unemployment is strong with this one. Yeah. It is honestly, I kind of love that, how that terminology is sort of permeated the cultural zeitgeist. Because yeah, like, when you have a full-time job, or when you have a hobby, you know, to occupy your time with, it's crazy how little energy you have to dedicate to being a shitty garbage human being, you know? Like, and I mean, obviously, when you're a slave to your capitalist overlord, you know, that is bad in and of itself in a different regard. But hey, at the very least, it like keeps you occupied enough to where you're just like, man, I don't have time. I don't have the energy to be like as big of a piece of shit as I possibly could. So yeah, it's and I don't know, there's just something visceral about it too. There's something visceral about, like, you know, unemployment energy. Just like, you, like, even if it's the first time you've ever heard that term, you like know what that means. You know, if someone says like that guy, like, that's some unemployed behavior right there, you're just like, I understand what you mean. That's the first time I've ever heard that, but I understand what you mean. So, yeah, that's yeah. Like the Scarlet Witch versus Franklin, Dr. Fantastic Kid. They started making memes on how the baby from the movie could take Ron. Wait, what? Oh, Franklin. Right. Okay. Yeah, that's just weird. And I mean, I don't know. I guess people like that sort of stuff, but I've seen like those videos where it's, you know, where it's like, you know, what if Goku never hit his head when he arrived on Earth? I'm like, I guess he would have fucking taken over the world, I guess? Like, I don't know, man. Like, that's why he didn't take over the Earth. So if he didn't bump his head, then I guess he would have done that. I don't know. Do we need to make this into a 23-minute long video? Like, I guess according to some people we do, but I'm just like, man, I have a straight line that a straight path that we could take right here, but you seem to be wanting to go around the entire maze. So I don't know. But hey, you know, if you're just if you're having fun, that's awesome. If you're having fun and you're not hurting anyone else, then go ahead, go at it. Friendless behavior, yeah, friendless, unemployed, fatherless, you know, all that sort of stuff. I mean, like, I try not to be mean to people, like, you know, on purpose, but I mean, there's a certain level where once you reach it, I really, like, all I really kind of want to do is to just really put lemon into your fucking open cuts, you know? Like, I can tell, like, nobody likes you. Everyone wishes that, like, your existence would stop impeding upon their lives. Nobody ever wants you around. And you hate yourself so much that you need to make other people miserable in order to distract from how miserable you make yourself. So, and, like, you know, there's sometimes I'd like to just unload all this stuff on them because it's all the same. Like, people who act like that, it's all the same thing. There's something inside of them that's broken, and they need to, you know, make other people around them miserable so that, you know, they can feel a sense of power and a sense of control over this life that they feel has forsaken them because they act out, you know, they don't know how to act. And so, you know, I just there are certain times where I have like those little power plays inside my head where I just let them have it. But most of the time I can't even be fucked to like care enough to engage with them, you know. So unless they really decide to just like, you know, just really come at me for no reason, which, you know, typically they don't, because I don't engage in that type of behavior and whatnot. But if someone was ever really that serious about it, like, you know, go ahead, man. Like, I've been around too long to really care about the ways in which children move through this life. The guys that were making the joke decided to make meme themselves of Scarlet Witch bearing Franklin or beating Franklin. Yeah, those are two very different terms separated by single consonants. I mean, yeah, Franklin is low-key kind of one of the most powerful beings in Marvel. I do know that. My knowledge of Fantastic Four is not as in depth as my knowledge of like other superheroes or even other Marvel superheroes in general, but I do know that at the very least. So I mean, he probably would, beat Scarlet Witch. Not that I think it matters all that much, unless they're put into, some sort of context within the comics or the movies where they are going to fight, which I don't think they are. But if they do, then I guess we can have that conversation. Ends with a wholesome note with drawing of Scarlet Witch playing pretend fighting with Franklin and calling her auntie. Same people that started the joke. All right then, good show. Good show, weird power scalers that pitted a grown woman against a baby. You brought it full circle and you managed to stick the landing. Good on ya. Rare internet W right there. We have a friend who's like that. We just tolerate him and we don't invite him to hangouts. I mean, you don't have to tolerate him. I mean, I know that, certain situations and certain dynamics are different, depending on the circumstances and, this, that, and the third and all that stuff. But I mean, like, if none of y'all like him, you don't have to hang out with him, Should have seen the drawings that came out of that. I'm sure they were quality. As long as they were drawn by actual human beings and not by no robots. So yeah, I was thinking that way earlier in the stream I was talking about how it would be kind of pathetic if I took like a random subject wheel and like spun it to essentially try and like find things to talk about during this stream. I realized that I actually kind of have that. I actually kind of have that. But I've never actually used it. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna actually go grab it and see, like, could I potentially do this like by myself? Because this is supposed to be done with multiple people. But I don't know. Let me. Okay, so I've got this thing here called Wavelength. So this is a like a party game, where essentially you just kind of like you're supposed to spin this wheel, and there's, oh god. There's different talking points on it that you can essentially you use this thing, and you kind of use it to indicate how strongly you feel about certain topics that are listed on these cards right here. Yeah, like they're still in the plastic. So like, I don't know, just like off the, I think you're supposed to take these cards, and then you're supposed to use these cards to indicate how like you feel about them or something. So like, so just right off the bat, oh okay, so we've got like underrated versus overrated game. So I guess you would give that prompt, and then you would like name a game, and you would say like, you would be like, I don't know, Ocarina of Time, overrated game or underrated game, and then you would take this thing and you would put this thing further to the left or further to the right, depending on how strongly you feel it is one or the other, and then you close this, and then the other people who are playing with you turn this thing in order to try and guess how you feel about it, and then you open this thing up and they see how on the money they are about your guess, and then you go ahead and start talking about it, I guess. But I think apparently you can play it on your own. Not much of a gamer, so I can't relate. You haven't played Ocarina of Time, though? That's, I mean, that's a classic, man. So, but yeah, I guess, like, you know, I could, like, open these up and essentially, like, try and figure out, or at least maybe get inspirations for certain talking points that maybe I would want to discuss. Or I could even, like, you know, I wrote down, like, a bunch of ideas for, you know, for videos that I could potentially maybe want to make at some point in the future. Maybe I could talk about those just to kind of, like, get my feelings out of there about them, or more crystallize and articulate my feelings on those topics. So on the back we have unreasonable versus reasonable phobia. Okay, you know what? I guess we could talk about that, like, right off the bat. I guess we can talk about that, like, cause I've gotta wonder. I've seen all of those, like, you guys seen those arachnophobia settings in games where if there are spiders in a game, they'll set the spiders to, I don't know, be like JPEGs of, like, one of the developer's cats, or just, like, turn them all into, like, fuzzy balls or something like that. And I'm just thinking, like, is this really, like I consider myself to be, like, someone who's pretty sensitive and in tune with, you know, with trying to be considerate of other people's, like, feelings and emotions and whatnot. But I'm just like, is it really that big a deal? Do we really have to put, like, settings in a game specifically to, like, I don't want to say coddle people, but I don't really know what else you could call it. Because, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, because at that point, the artist is compromising their vision and their, you know, their expression for the sake of someone else's, you know, like, irrational fear. Like, a phobia is supposed to be, like, an irrational fear, or at the very least, like, the degree to which someone fears this particular thing is supposed to kind of be disproportionate to how much the actual thing can, you know, actually hurt them. So, like a daddy long legs, for example, harmless, absolutely harmless spider. It like, I don't know if I would say they can't bite, because, I mean, obviously they have to eat, so they have mouths, they have, like, they're capable of being able to feed, but so far as I know, like, no one has ever been bitten by a daddy long legs. But someone with arachnophobia would absolutely shit all over the room if you were to like, put a daddy long legs on their, like, on their arm. Now, I mean, like, if you just came out of nowhere and just plopped a daddy long legs onto my arm, I'd be like, Jesus, man, what are you doing? But, like, is it really so bad? Like, to the point where game developers need to be like, oh, we have to put in a whole ass setting in the game to make this thing in the game not be in the game anymore, because there are, like, a small number of people out there who are so petrified of spiders that they won't be able to play the game if we don't put it in there. So I don't know. I don't know. It's not that I'm saying like because the prompt said, what did it say? It said unreasonable versus reasonable phobia. So it's not even that I'm like saying that like people shouldn't have arachnophobia or something like that. I'm just thinking like, is it really that widespread and serious enough to where like game developers have to be taking these people into consideration the same way you might have to take into consideration someone who is colorblind, or someone who is a little hard of hearing, so then you implement things like colorblind modes or subtitles with like different color combinations for the subtitles, being able to make the subtitles bigger or smaller, being able to put backgrounds behind them instead of just having the text just be on the screen and all that sort of stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's obviously not in a whole lot of games because it's I've maybe seen it like twice or something like that. But it's, I don't know. Is it in I don't think it's in Black Myth Wukong. That would be really weird if even like a Chinese developer was like putting that in there. But yeah, I don't know. It's just something that I thought was a bit silly. So I don't know. But I guess that was one topic down that we could talk about. The phobia of Santa Claus is way more intense than arachnophobia. I mean, I feel like when I was a kid and the very first time I met Santa Claus, I was a bit scared. I think it's more like, it's less that you're scared of Santa and more just that, like, as a kid, you're like, oh my god, Santa Claus. Oh, he's so cool and he brings me presents, and I've read all these books about him. It's kind of, so you sort of like think of him either as like almost like a celebrity or something like that, and then suddenly he's just there and he's talking to you and you're just like, I feel like kids are kind of like overwhelmed with like emotion, and so because they don't know how to process it, they're just like and they start like crying and whatnot. So and then I feel like maybe a phobia could like be birthed from an experience like that, but I feel like it's it's more like kids kind of are naturally like scared or like overwhelmed when they have that experience when they're younger. Let's never forget the phobia of long words. Oh yeah, isn't that also like, isn't the phobia itself like a really long word? Is that even technically like a real phobia? I feel like I read something where it's like, this isn't like a real one. Let's see. Phobia of long words. Okay. Hippopotomonstrosequipedaliophobia. Yeah, no, that's a troll. That's not real. That's somebody made that up because it's too deliciously ironic. The American Psychiatric Association doesn't officially recognize this phobia. Yes, exactly. It's considered a social phobia. So does that mean it's like people just like made it up? Isn't that the same with like trypophobia? The fear of like clustered holes or something like that. I feel like that's I only heard about that once the iPhone started to have 3 cameras on it, and people were talking about that, and I was like, I've never heard of this thing before. But then like once I found out about it, and then I like started looking at like images where they were like, something like this might trigger someone's trypophobia, I was like, oh. So like so I don't know. I feel like it could be like real. According to the DMC5, or DSM-5, criteria for social phobias include a fear or anxiety about social situations where a person may be examined, like meeting new people or having a conversation. Wait, so the American Psychiatric Association, so it's not recognized as a real phobia, but so it's more like a almost like a, well, if it's in the DSM-5, then that would mean it's more akin to a mental disorder, essentially. So I don't know. I think these therapists need to have better communication with one another. Okay, the very next one that I have just says person you could beat up versus person who'd beat you up. And I've got one. It's funny because I don't know why. I don't know why I've thought about this, but I've thought about who in Hololive would I not want to face in a physical fight? And I have a very definitive answer. And I'm actually curious. I'm actually curious to anyone who might know a thing or two about Hololive, if they can figure out who it might be. Kanata is a good guess. And I mean, thinking about it, yeah, I probably wouldn't want to get into a fight with her either. But that is not my my definitive answer. There is another. There's another who, like, if I were to go up against her, I would actually be actually shitting down my leg. Botan? No. Botan is so chill. She's so laid back. What are you talking? Why would it be Botan? Botan would literally just lay down on the ground and be like, I don't care, man, whatever. Just, sure, you win, I guess, okay. So no, it's not Botan. But you kind of are, like, well, I don't want to say you're kind of getting close, but I mean, like, the one that I'm thinking of, she has interacted with Botan like a number of times. Nene? No. I can't beat up our wife. That is domestic abuse. I would never do such a thing. Okay, no. She doesn't often have anything to do with Botan, so just get that out of your heads. All right, she's not super closely related to Botan. I was just saying that because she has had like a sort of series, I guess, that she's done with Botan. But no, you guys are getting colder. Like think of someone who just like embodies both the energy and the physical prowess to actually legitimately be someone that you probably shouldn't pick a fight with. Thought you were saying who you would lose to. Oh no, who I would, I said who I would not want to face in a fight. So, all right, I'll be clear. This Hololive member would 100% probably kill me. So I'll make it more clear like that. If you guys were saying Botan based off of that, or Nenechi, I could see how you might come to that conclusion. Suisei? Okay, no. Now here's the thing. The whole Suisei path thing, like, that was a pretty long time ago, and I mean, since then, like, she's gotten up to some shenanigans in, like, GTA Online and whatnot, but I feel like Suisei is more, her bark is worse than her bite, you know? I feel like she's got, like, a really intense aura, but she probably, I could probably take her. I'll admit. Damn, I'm old. Yeah, we're old, dude. I just saw a clip of Bae talking about how she's now been in Hololive for 5 years. I hate it here. Yago himself, I mean, I would just surrender at that point. So I mean, that's I'm not fighting Yago. No, I can't do that. My soul would not allow me to be able to do that. Ian or JP? It's JP. Yeah, it is a JP member. So if you were hoping like you could narrow it down by being like, oh, is it in the EN? Is it in? You didn't even mention ID, but yeah, no, it's where the majority of them are located. But so all right, I'll give you guys 3 more guesses. 3 more guesses. Again, someone who has the energy and the physical capability to actually be a legitimate threat. Totally Roboco. Oh, Roboco. She's so cute. I always love like I especially love, I don't know if her model still does this, but I always loved like whenever she would talk, her mouth would get just so big. It would just open up like, wah. It was so cute. And then I also remember that one clip where yeah, she just had her full ass up in the camera. Like this was so long ago. But yeah, just full cake just right up in the camera lens. It was very nice. Coco hasn't been there for years now at this point, man. I mean, if she were still there, I would probably say if this was back when she was still there, she would probably be in the running. But no, it's not Coco. One more shot. You guys got one more shot. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. It's right on the tip of your tongue. I know it is. It's right there. She's right there. Just she's standing there menacingly. Come on. According to the final boss tier list of Hololive by some Hololive fan. What? Are you cheating? Did you look it up on Reddit? Friend? Oh shit. Oh, I don't have friend here on this in this scene. Damn. All right. Well, no. It's not friend. What? Why would it be friend? She's our friend. She's our best friend. Why would I fight friend? Come on, man. Come on. Also, again, I said the energy and the physical capacity to actually be a killer. When has Fubuki ever had the physical capacity to be a killer? All right. Now, Shako. Oh, Maiden's back. Wait up, you two. I'll be stational. Join you guys. I love Uraraka. Anyway, you guys fail. All right. The one Hololive member out of all of them that I absolutely would not want to face because she would kill me is Korone. Come on. Again, she was right there the whole time. She like has that energy. Like she can go. Like, have you seen those 7 to 8 hour streams she does like all the time? And then on top of that, she actually does kickboxing. You've seen those flips. You've seen those flips that she does up on stage, right? During like festival performances, during songs. No, she would actually legitimately kill me. So yeah, no, she literally got that dog in her. I want no smoke from Korone. Absolutely not. Does she? Yeah, she does kickboxing, and you Wait, have you guys not seen when she does those crazy flips? Like full on in the air, like fucking like Neo and Morpheus, like flipping in the air. She's actually insane. So yeah, no, she's a monster. And I would, like, if she were coming at me, I would just like lay down and play dead. I would just be like, please Korone, don't, I'm just a boy. I'm just a boy. He just doesn't want to admit it's Toa. I mean, if I were to catch her in Apex, like, yeah, no, she would kill me. But yeah, no, like, actually, legitimately, Korone. Kanata again would be a close second, but I mean, all I have to do is just make sure that she can't get her big freakishly strong gorilla paws around any like part of my body. All right, once she manages to like grab a hold of any part of me, then it's over. But as long as I can bob and weave her, like I have a chance. I have a shot. With Korone, it would basically be like being inside of a glass box with a black mamba, just like saw that, but I didn't know she's a kickboxer. Yeah, I don't know if she still does it, but she was definitely kickboxing at some point. So yeah. What's up, Kiara? Hope you're doing all right tonight. Appreciate you stopping in. We're just chatting, and it's almost been an hour. I've actually managed to be able to go for nearly an hour. God damn. Granted, these cards are kind of helping, so I appreciate that. This is getting a bit awkward. What's really having a midlife crisis about VTubers? Yeah. VTubers that just debuted yesterday are saying that they've been around for 5 years. I don't know what they're talking about. Actually thought of Korone instantly, but then I thought, nah, she would be too busy streaming for 8 hours. That's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. Like, the stamina and the physical prowess of that dog is it's frightening. Especially, have you seen those videos? Well, you know what? Maybe we could do this, because I mean, hey, we're here. Like, maybe why don't we? Why don't we just bring up some videos to check out, I suppose. Can I even remember what these videos are called? I can't. Korone 3D Furball. Let me. Oh, there it is. Okay. These videos are fucking great. Okay. There's so many more than I remember. Okay, where's like the first one? Oh, there it is. Oh, it's so great. Okay. Let's see. Who fucked up today? Probably nobody. Everyone's doing great today. But what's up, Aurora? Hope you're doing all right. We're watching videos from the early 2000s. If by early 2000s you mean the 2023s, then yes. Yes, indeed. Hold on a second. I knew I should have maybe started up a video watching tab. Okay, we're gonna go, I'm gonna have to try and like make a whole new scene. Can I let me see. Okay. Duplicate. Okay, let's try this. Okay, now we're over here, and then let's see. Now we gotta add display capture, screen capture, or window capture. See, hold on. Stone Age videos. There's too many, like, okay, browser, display capture, image slideshow, media source, screen capture, window capture. All right, you know what? We'll do this. We'll do this. Okay, and then okay, where is it? Is it here? Wait, no, that can't be it. Huh. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna get rid of that. All right. You know what? We'll just do. Screen capture. Okay. There we go. I suppose. Okay. Oh no, wait. Hold on a second. That's too much. There we go. Just the window. That's what we need. Okay. So look at her. She's such a funny little thing, ain't she? Okay. It's a little off. I don't know why it's like that, but it's fine. Okay. And then, all right, let me where's me? Okay, so we're gonna put this up here. Gotta like basically make this on the fly essentially. And then I'm gonna do whoopsie daisy. Not that. Alt. Is it alt? I get what? Why is it doing it like that? Hold up. Or is it control? No. What is happening? Shift. No. It's gotta be alt. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. We're okay, no, it's not fine. How's it going, Kotsky? Hope you're also doing all right tonight. Okay. Hold on. Is it also doing that on the other thing? I see. So if I go back here. Okay, no, we're fine here. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna do it like this. What the hell? That's not how it's supposed to work. Why is it doing it like that? This is getting me a little triggered. This is not how this is supposed to work. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna if this is how OBS wants to play it, then it's fine. Yeah, there we go. That's it. That's the perfect. Yep. Okay, there it is. Okay, I don't know. I don't know why it's like this, but okay. All right, we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna take a look at this real quick, because we're just watching like one video. Okay, real quick. Okay, so check it out. See, this is why you don't want to fuck with Korone. Okay. Holy shit, it's loud. Look at her go! You see that? You don't want none of this! You don't want to catch these hands! You don't want to catch this smoke! Beware! I demand. Feed the Korone. There she goes. She has been satiated. The world is safe for another day. And there she goes. All right. So you see? You guys understand now, right? You guys get it. You don't want to mess. You don't want to mess with Korone. And if you missed it, then that's your fault. Your fault. I tried to warn you, but you did not heed my warning. We have no video game stream today. It's something different. Yes, we are just yapping. Don't mess with the dog. Exactly. You see? You guys are learning. Good stuff. All right. Well, so that was that. Okay. Let's see. Thrilling, terrifying. What? Blue, green? What? Where's try? Conventional wisdom versus fringe belief. Underrated versus overrated book. Boring person versus fun person. Least powerful god, most powerful god. Trying to look at these and see, like, is any like coming to mind? Oh, here's one. Here's one that feels like it was tailor-made for me. Bad Disney character or good Disney character? Okay. Okay, I'm trying to think, because I definitely feel like I've got something to talk about here. Bad Disney character versus good Disney character. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure I can come up with one. Like, right off the bat, I want to say Hans from Frozen, and it's only because I've seen videos where people are trying to say that, like, you know, he's like a bad Disney villain or something like that. He's not. He's a great Disney villain, but I haven't actually bothered to engage with those videos because I just don't care. Like, you know, I'm just like, hey, if you don't like him, whatever. It's I'm trying to think, like, do I have a character that, like, I like that no one else does? Oh no, you know what we can talk about? We can talk about Ariel, because I feel like Ariel is sort of like the original. She's kind of like the progenitor of like the whole sort of like you know, mid-2000s reevaluation of Disney movies, particularly Disney princesses, where people try to essentially say that, you know, it was Disney princesses' fault that, I don't know, girls weren't, like, going into engineering or science or stuff like that, and it's because boys had Bob the Builder and girls had Cinderella. It's like, what? No, that's dumb. Anywho, it's like, yeah, see, you guys don't even know what I'm talking about, because, like, this is just dumb non-starter talking points. But so Ariel is considered kind of like the primordial Disney princess from which, like, lots of, you know, or at least I guess, like, what people would consider to be the end of the classic Disney princess sort of like archetype. That being in that, like people look at Ariel as being like, they think she's spoiled, they think she's entitled, they say that she's stupid because she, you know, just gives up her entire life, you know, to be with this guy that she literally just met that day, and she, like, you know, she's in love with him, and she'll give up her entire life and, you know, basically change her whole species for the sake of this dude. And it's like, no, let me tell y'all, that's such a 2000s news take. It was, and it was mainstream, let me tell you. But so, like, let's talk about, like, the fact that, like, she gives up her entire life for the sake of a man. You know, that's probably, like, the biggest criticism people have for Ariel. No, she doesn't give up her entire life for just because of Eric. Eric was the straw that broke the camel's back, and it wasn't even him. It wasn't even just, you know, seeing Eric and, like, you know, having, like, the Disney love at first sight thing sort of happen. Like, from the very beginning of the movie, we see that she's had, like, a fascination, almost an obsession with the surface world. You know, she literally, like, the first time we see her, she's, you know, exploring a sunken ship, and she's, you know, risking getting eaten by a shark for a fork. And then, you know, she goes up to the surface. She tries to learn about, you know, this thing that she found, this human thing that she found from Scuttle, who doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, but she takes everything that he says as gospel because he lives on the surface. And, you know, then we see her grotto. It's filled. Fucking girl's a hoarder with her human shit that she collects. So this has been going on for God knows how long. And if you watch the animated series that was on Disney Channel, oh yeah, motherfuckers, I'm taking you to fucking school. If you watch the animated series, which takes place before the movie, you'll see what she does, and she goes out and collects all of her human knickknacks and gizmos and thingamabobs and whatnot. She puts them into her grotto. So this has been going on for years. Then, you know, she finally goes up and she sees humans. Like, I'm pretty sure she never actually saw a human in the series. And so, like, yeah, and she's young, she's impressionable. She's going to, like, see this guy, you know, who's a good-looking guy, and she's gonna be like, holy shit, god damn, it's a human and he's hot. Ooh, okay then, I see what we're dealing with here. But even then, she doesn't, like, immediately go off and start, like, you know, just deciding, like, yeah, I'm just gonna go to Ursula and I'm gonna get me some legs and whatnot. No, she sees him, she rescues him, she has this, you know, pretty pivotal and traumatic event that she undergoes alongside him after she rescues him from the sinking ship. And then, you know, after that, she's just kind of like, she's just kind of flittering around, you know? She's like in a daze, she's in a daydream. She's like, you know, picking the flower petals, going like, he loves me not, he loves me. Fucking Sebastian has to come in and do a whole Academy Award-winning song and dance in order to try and convince her to not want to go up there and, like, stop caring about this dude. And then, after, like, all of that, then, you know, she gets outed for having her little human collection, and then her dad comes in, fucking goes ape shit all over the place, starts, like, blasting, literally. So then, anyway, I start blasting just all over the place, and then, after that, that's when she's finally like, okay, you know what? Fuck this. I'm out, all right? Like, and, like, I could potentially be with this guy who I've been thinking about for probably, like, you know, days or something at this point, and my dad just, like, went on a huge abusive rampant rampage through my most cherished collection that I've been amassing over the years. Like, yeah, especially, again, being as young as she is, 16, she'd probably maybe be a little impulsive and be like, you know what, okay, let's do it, why not? So, I think Ariel's a good character, actually. I didn't even get to any of the other points. I don't even remember what they were, but that was the biggest complaint about Ariel for, like, years and decades now at this point. But the thing is that, like, Ariel revolutionized the Disney princess characters, because up until her, there was literally only Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty. or Aurora, if you want to be like really fucking nerdy about it, which I do. So yeah, and what did all they do? Nothing. Jack shit. When Ariel showed up, that was she was a revelation. She was assertive. She wanted things. She knew what she wanted. She was willing to take action in order to actually achieve them. Sure, you didn't have to agree with what she was doing, but she was doing shit. At least she wasn't asleep through like 3/4 of the movie. At least she wasn't just, you know, kind of sitting around waiting for her fairy godmother to show up or something like that. And like, I'm coming down. I'm coming down. Don't worry. I'll be careful. I'm coming down. What was the other points? Again, that she spoiled, that she's, you know, I don't even care. I don't even care. That was the biggest aspect of her character that people criticized, and I think it was all bullshit. All right, it's fine. It's fine. Ariel's a quality Disney character, and I think most people know that now. So yeah, that's my my Little Mermaid rampage. I need a drink of water after that. Please excuse me. Okay. Okay. That seagull was the one that started it all. Fucking scuttle. Dingle hopper. Shove a dingle hopper up your fucking cloaca. Hey, at least he wasn't as annoying as Aquafina in the remake. Holy shit. I hated her fucking song in that movie. Ugh. We talk about direct to Disney sequels like Little Mermaid 2, The Wall to the Sea to Protect the Daughter, if I remember right. So I didn't engage with a lot of the direct to video sequels. Like, cause even as a kid, I could tell that they were of subpar quality compared to the originals. I watched, you know, Return of Jafar, like everyone of my generation. I watched Lion King 2. And I think by the time Little Mermaid 2 came out, I realized, you know, I was just like, I actually looked at it and I was like, that is not as good as the original. Oh, and then I saw King of Thieves, Aladdin, King of Thieves. So here's the thing. Lion King 2 and King of Thieves, I actually think are actually decent movies. Like, not gonna lie, no joke. I actually think both of those are pretty decent sequels for both of those movies. Obviously, in terms of animation, obviously nowhere as good, but you know, I think that the the stories were at least worth telling, even if it was in a, you know, substandard package compared to the original movies. And it, like, here's the thing. So years ago at this point, I worked in an office space where we didn't have assigned seating. You know, we all had like cubicles that we worked in, and you know, if someone was at the cubicle that you tended to work in, then you know, you would just, you know, find another one to sit at. And there was this one cubicle where essentially, I don't know who did it, but somebody set this cubicle up to have a bunch of like little knickknacks and ways in which to sort of you know, pass the time while you were doing the work that you were doing. And the work that we were doing was essentially, you know, we would listen in on phone calls for people who are hard of hearing and hear what the person they're talking to is saying, and then talk into a speech-to-text program in order to make words a bit, essentially subtitle what the person they're talking to is saying on their phone. So while you're on a call, you're just supposed to not do anything except for, you know, sit there listening to what the person they're talking to is saying, and then just repeat back robotically what it is that they say, so that the subtitles show up on the phone. But what they do allow you to do is kind of like do things to sort of like, you know, distract yourself so that you don't get antsy, especially if you're on like a long call. So in this cubicle, they had like a bunch of fidget toys, they had like this kinetic sand, and then they had like a bunch of journals for people to draw or write in. And somebody took one of those journals and drew a picture of Vitani from Lion King 2, who was the I believe she was Kovu's sister. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Kovu's sister, and they drew a picture of her, and then they just essentially wrote like Vitani turned me gay. And I was like, oh, well, how about that? Good for you. And I mean, that's the thing. Like, I know that girls liked that Kovu. They like that Kovu kid. So, and hey, listen, I can't judge any of them because I'll admit that I had a little bit of a crush on Kiara, you know, the Simba's daughter. You know, it was just a little crush, but you know, I thought she was cute. So, you know, what can I say? And she was voiced by Nev Campbell. Come on. Wild Things? Shut up. Don't even talk to me. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Lion King 2 was like a decent follow-up to Lion King. Not obviously it wasn't better than the first one, but it was fine. It was decent. The Little Mermaid 2 movie had a game I remember vividly because I played it. Did it? The direct-to-video sequels had games? Wow. Okay then. Let's see here. Yeah, so yeah, and then King of Thieves. King of Thieves was the second Aladdin sequel. I honestly don't remember much about Return of Jafar. Like, I remember watching it like in school, but yeah, I didn't really remember much about it. I remember much more King of Thieves. One, because I actually owned it. I didn't own Return of Jafar on VHS, but I did own King of Thieves, and I don't know, man, King of Thieves was kind of cool, because, you know, obviously Aladdin being an orphan is a huge aspect of his character in the first movie, and, you know, it's kind of a huge part of why, you know, it's a big root cause of his main conflict throughout the first movie, is the fact that he's like an orphan and homeless. But yeah, in King of Thieves, you know, we find out like what his daddy's been up to, and like, you know, all that sort of stuff, and you know, there's pretty intimidating villains throughout, and you got like the whole thing with the Hand of Midas and all that sort of stuff. You had Robin Williams voicing Genie again instead of Dan Castellaneta. So, you know, to me, King of Thieves was honestly the superior Aladdin sequel compared to Return of Jafar. So, yeah. But I mean, aside from that, like, oh, you know, I was actually kind of partial to Lady and the Tramp 2. Scamp's Adventure, you know? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I did like Lady and the Tramp 2 as well. Because, I mean, like, Lady and the Tramp isn't, like... It's not, like, a big, huge movie that, you know, is... It's not like Lion King. Or, you know, even like Aladdin or Little Mermaid. It's a very low-key movie. So having a low-key sequel honestly doesn't feel like too out of place for that. And I thought like the you know, the story was kind of, it's fine, you know, just kind of like invert the original story, whereas, you know, Tramp was essentially a street dog who comes in and you know, sort of warms up to a family life. You know, his son is a house dog who yearns for, you know, the street life essentially. And yeah, like there's some cute you know, stuff in there, stuff with him and Angel. I actually kind of really like the songs in Lady and the Tramp 2 as well. You know, Scamp's whole song about like wanting to, you know, experience the outdoors or whatever, and then like their little love song with him and Angel, that's all cute. So yeah, honestly, it's I would say that Lady and the Tramp 2 is sort of like, I'd honestly kind of say it's on par with the original, because again, like I'm not a huge massive fan of the original, and again, like the stakes for both of the stories basically feel on parity with one another. So I don't feel like one necessarily is you know, a significantly better product than the other. Obviously the first one is a lot better animated than the second one, but I mean, you know, it's you know, that's kind of like the only leg up that it has on the original or on the sequel. So, you know, yeah, Lady and the Tramp 2, the decent. Return of Jafar is fine. The issue is it had really downplayed Jafar a lot to be more comedic. Yeah, I mean, he was kind of comedic in the first one too. Even like when he had all the power and, you know, he starts doing his little Prince Ali reprieve, he's still kind of being like super goofy and whatnot, you know. So, and I mean that is an aspect of Disney villains that people have lamented in recent years, that like if a Disney villain is actually like a villain, then, you know, they're not as charismatic as they used to, because that's what people remember about Jafar, is that he was charismatic and he was just kind of like really, you know, I mean, he was menacing, you know, especially when he turns into like the giant snake and whatnot. So but yeah, definitely like Return of Jafar, yeah, definitely not as good as King of Thieves, in my opinion. Oh god. Oh, and then there was also, okay, there was also Hunchback 2. Oh, that one hurt. That one hurt, especially the music. Holy shit, is the music terrible in it. Like, ugh. It's, oh god. And then just like the whole, I don't know. It just was so unnecessary, and it felt like we were just like relearning the what we learned in the first one. Like, you know, like we know Quasimodo's a good guy, and everyone else does too. Like, okay, is it nice that he gets a girlfriend? Sure, I guess, but I mean, like, you know, like, did we need to see that story so badly that you needed to make this just super watered down milquetoast like romp? I don't feel like we did. Oh god. And just like, again, because the Hunchback soundtrack to me is the pinnacle of Disney soundtracks. Like in terms of both like the songs and the score. Like it is far and away the best soundtrack for a Disney movie, like in my opinion. And just like to go from songs like Out There and Hellfire and God Help the Outcasts and, you know, The Bells of Notre Dame to shit like, I don't even remember like what these songs were called, but I just remember one of them starts up with Quasimodo just going, "Imagine it," and it's like, oh, it's so abrupt. It's so like, you know. And again, like you compare it to Out There, where you know they kind of like warm you up to it, you know, where he's like, it's like the world is cruel, the world is wicked. And then like, you know, even beyond that, you know, you have Quasimodo and Frollo's like little back and forth play with one another, and then even once Frollo leaves, you know, then Quasimodo just slides into it so much more naturally, you know. Safe behind these windows and these parapets of stone, you know, not just imagine it. it's don't like it, don't appreciate it. I appreciate like the sentiment. I appreciate the sentiment of like wanting to give Quasimodo a girlfriend, I guess, since he didn't get the girl in the first movie, which was imperative to his character development and his arc. Thank you very much. But sure, like, okay, he gets a girlfriend. Great. I could have read that on fanfiction.net and it probably would have been better. Ayo. I don't think Disney will ever escape the movie Wish. Okay, yeah. I guess we're sticking on this Disney train for a second. So Wish was a movie that I heard was not good. But when it comes to, you know, like, Disney movies in particular, I'm like, okay, listen, man. I'm gonna come in, and I'm gonna form my own decisions, especially because I know bitches out here don't know quality Disney when it comes up and bites them, all right? So I'm gonna see what this is all about. Yeah, it wasn't great. But here's the thing. Like people give Wish a bunch of shit because they say like the lyrics in the songs, particularly the villain songs, sound like, you know, they were written by AI, and it's mostly just because of that one line where he says like, "I let you live here for free and I don't even ask for rent." And people are like, well, that means the exact same thing. And it's like, okay, man, okay. Should they have caught that? Yes, I get it. But like, the song itself is like fine. And here's the thing. The villain is the best part of that movie. Like Chris Pine, who plays him, Magnifico, I think that's his name. He's giving it. He's giving what he's got for that role. Okay, he's going in. It's just that, yeah, the rest of the movie around him just like doesn't add up to much. I just didn't really care, you know? And like, I don't know, like the color palette is really muted and flat and boring, and then like, you know, the talking goat side character comic relief is just really like just doesn't get any laughs at all. All the like the gang of characters that are the friends of the main character, like I don't remember anything about them because they're all just supposed to be like, you know, the 7 dwarves. But here's the thing, we didn't know anything about the 7 dwarves either. They all only had one personality trait, because you can only give each of them one personality trait because there's 7 of those bastards. So of course we're only going to be able to pick up on like a few key details about each one. But they wanted each of these characters to be like real characters. And it's like, no, you can't do that because we don't have time. We don't have time to get to know these 7 other characters. So like, I mean, I can kind of remember some of their faces if the more screen time they have is proportional to how much I can actually remember them. But like, yeah, all the other ones, like I don't remember them at all. I don't remember their names. I don't remember which one is supposed to be like which. I know that like the girl with the crutch is Doc. I know that that one fucking kid who's always like, you know, making grumpy faces is Grumpy. And then I know that there was a sleepy girl who was supposed to be sleepy, but I don't remember what she looks like. So, and that's the thing. It's like, we remember the 7 dwarves because each of them had one personality trait, or they had one defining characteristic, and they just leaned hard into it. And so we managed to remember them because of that. They weren't deep characters, but we remembered them at the very least. But yeah, just like all of that, and again, the songs were just generic, but like, again, like the villain was the best part of Wish, and yeah, he was giving it his all, but he could only carry so much weight for that movie on his shoulders. So yeah. Wait, friend, it's the 7 magical creatures. I'm gonna ban you. If you're gonna keep that up. Why are you talking about the 7 dwarves now? Because Disney wanted us to remember the 7 dwarves in Wish. And I definitely remember them. Because all I could think about was, hey, I remember the 7 dwarves a lot better than I remember whatever the fuck all those kids' names were. Anyway, I'm gonna try and get off of Disney now, because I'm pretty sure I've been talking about Disney for like 40 minutes straight or something at this point. Talking about the 100 Disney movie Wish. The fucking saying it like advertising it as their job. Could you perhaps be referring to the 100th animated Disney musical feature called Wish from 2023? Like, heard that in the concept art was going to be the King's Daughter or something. She's going to be Magnifico's daughter? Okay. I don't think that would have added too much to the storyline, so yeah, I mean, I feel it was probably the better move to not have her be his daughter, because yeah, again, like it really wouldn't have done much for it. The star is supposed to be a prince-looking guy as well for the concept art, if they say so. I mean, hey, the star was cute. I can say that for it at least. But all right, let's try and move on to a different topic here, so that I'm not just ranting about Disney until the very end. Let's see. Deep thought, shallow thought. Oh my god, illegal versus legal. Bad mouthfeel, good mouthfeel. Yeah, I can't really, let's see, traditional, radical, bad candy, good candy. I don't feel like I have enough, like, to, the fuck is this? It just says tick or talk. What am I supposed to do with that? What? What does that mean? How do I know whether or not something is tick or talk? I don't know. I don't know what the qualifiers are for being tick or talk. That's dumb. I don't get it. Bad advice, good advice. One hit wonder pop icon. Yeah. Are you tick type of guy or a talk type of guy? Man. Weapon the series, Nightmare on Elm Street the series, and Scream the series. Oh, we're going back to the animated horror movie films. Nightmare on Elm Street could be a good animated horror film. I'd be down for that. Especially Nightmare on Elm Street 3, the best Nightmare on Elm Street. Fucking Dream Warriors? Come on, man. Give me a break. That's some good quality 80s shit right there. Not huggable or huggable. You seem like a ticket type of guy. I hate tickets. I don't appreciate them at all. Tickets killed my father. That just made me think of Elfin Lane when he's like, you killed my sister and murdered my father. Like, you know, bro, you could have just combined those into a single sentence. You didn't have to go fishing in your thesaurus to be like, well, I already said killed, so I can't say that again. So I have to say murdered instead. Hard to sit on, easy to sit on. Okay. Oh, you know what? This is something that we could talk about. Dream Warriors is peak? Yes, sir. Based on the third and second of the True Live, and the original truly focus on an old man named John Kramer Aches, aka the Jigsaw Killer. Oh, Saw? I was never a huge Saw guy. I only saw like the first one, and I was like, that was fine. I don't think I need like 9 more of these. But okay. So this one says gossip versus news. And you know what that just immediately made me think of? Fucking VTuber news. Because here's the thing. All right. Unless it has to do with like corpo shenanigans, as in like the corporations, the big corporations, or even if it's like smaller indie corporations, you know, the actual, you know, corporate entities themselves and the way that they treat like their talents, or the way they treat the artists that they contract and all that sort of stuff. To me, that's news. All right, hearing about like, you know, the ways in which Niji Sanji allowed just like a sort of high school mean girl pervasive vibe to permeate throughout the EN branch, and they just were completely hands off, and they didn't offer any kind of like assistance or guidance or anything like that towards their talents, or you know, the ways in which like Hololive might be sort of like putting certain pressures and undue expectations upon their talents because of the fact that they've gone public, and now they're probably at the behest of their shareholders to, you know, crack the whip and, you know, get them bitches in line, get them doing more of that idol shit, you know, or V Shoujo. Just all of V Shoujo. You know, to me, that stuff is news. Everything else, you know, when it comes to like, you know, say like the Cinder stuff, all that stuff, or whatever the fuck is happening with like Bao and whatnot right now, like, to me, all that shit is gossip. That is, it's just, you know, it's just like high school, like, oh my god, did you hear what Kendra said about Britney? Oh my god, did you see that, like, did you see that Kelsey, she posted this one thing on Facebook, and then Brenda came in and she didn't like it, and then, like, oh my god, did you hear that Troy unfollowed Rebecca? It's like, bro, I don't give a fuck. Like unless someone does some like really heinous shit, okay, I don't care. The whole thing with Cinder, it's like it's a bunch of like drama. Okay, it's a bunch of, you know, people who are, you know, have certain, you know, personality types, and they have different dynamics with different people depending on what those personalities are. And then, you know, shit just kind of happens, misunderstandings happen, you know, people do certain things and then they don't talk about them with the person that did them, and so then like resentment starts fomenting on either side of the equation, and it's just all a bunch of bullshit. And I'm just like, bro, what if we all just, like, I don't know, minded our business? Or what if we stop putting so much stock into like the private behind the scenes, just sort of like, you know, goings on between the relationships between these just normal ass people. And yes, they are normal ass people. They might be these big content creators, and they might be, you know, they might amass like these huge numbers, and some of them might actually be like actual businesses. You know, there might be like a Bow the Whale LLC, or there might be a Iron Mouse Incorporated and all that sort of stuff. But like, you know, at the end of the day, like they're still just people. They're still just regular ass people. You know, which is something that people forget all the time, and they try. Sometimes they willfully forget it. But they're just people. So yes, people's relationships get messy sometimes, and like whether or not, you know, like whether or not you're on like Nano's side or Cinder's side or Bow's side or, you know, Shy Lily's side or whatever side, it's like, bro. You know, like, you're allowed to, you know, have the camps that you want to be in, but, like, just don't be a asshole. You know, that's what, like, that's what I'm saying, man. Again, unless, like, someone does something actually legitimately heinous. Like, yeah, go ahead. Like, pile on them for all, you know, it matters. But if it's just, like, these sorts of, like... You know, oh, like this and that and that, oh, and they said this, and this made me feel that way, and then, like, you know, like, the stuff with Cinder, like, some people's, like, businesses were kind of, like, compromised in that whole situation, but again, like, everyone's mostly doing fine, so, you know, I'm just like, I don't know, man, like... We could all like pull off the accelerator, the parasocial gas pedal, if you will, every once in a while, and just maybe like chill. That's all I'm saying. And also to just like be that invested in just like the private dynamics of how like these people interact. It's like, I don't know, man. Okay, sure. Would it be disappointing if like two content creators that I like and I thought liked each other, suddenly it turned out they don't like each other? Sure. But at the end of the day, it's like, whatever, bro. It's fine. It's okay. You could just turn the TV off, I suppose. Okay. What's everyone saying here? Speaking of franchises, did watch Welcome to Derry, and it was okay. I was wholly uninterested in watching Welcome to Derry, you know, because it just sounds like they're like, yeah, you saw what happened with these kids, now find out what happens with their parents and Pennywise, and then their parents and Pennywise, and then their parents and Pennywise, all the way back to fucking cavemen with Pennywise, and it's like, all right, bro. Like, this just sounds trite to me. Like, it's okay. There's Like This Does VTuber who talks about teen drama. How's it gonna avatar like sipping tea while talking about VTubers having beef one another? You said it, Kimmy. Hope you're doing all right tonight. I want someone to make that as a thing, as like a parody, if you will not. I mean... I guarantee you there's a VTuber out there who has sipped tea before. You sound like one of the characters from Big Mouth Make It Stop. Well, Hikari wants the stream to end. I almost made it to 2 hours, but I guess we have to listen to Hikari and just call it there for the evening. Thanks for showing up, everyone. Bye. All right, no, I have decided that I'm not gonna go down that easily. we've got like 12 minutes left. It's fine. I'm gonna I'm gonna pull it all the way to the end, and if Higari's got a problem with that, they can make it known to me in court. Anyway, another case of maidenless behavior. Yeah, pretty much, essentially. I hope Gal Goda's doing well. Gal Goda is doing very well for herself. Don't you worry about her. Now, that's yeah, she is doing just fine. So, yes, sir. Welcome back. Thank you. But yeah. So I mean, like, so like my roommate is much more tuned into like VTuber drama than I am. So he'll sometimes give me deets about like this, that, or the other that is going on, like, and I just kind of like take it all in, and I'm like, man, that sure does sound like a whole lot of work over there, yes, sir. But yeah, and then the whole thing with Iron Mouse, the situation, kind of feel bad for her. Yeah, you don't have to worry about Iron Mouse. She is also doing fine. And yeah, the whole V Shoujo situation is, I mean, there's probably still some stuff that's gonna come out about it over time, but it's mostly finished at this point. I mean, Stephen King's trying to make some money out of his book adaptations. Oh, like everybody else? R.L. Stein, my cousins try to watch the other version of Goosebumps. It's different than the 90s version. I did like me some Goosebumps back in the day. It was especially weird going from like Goosebumps to reading R.L. Stein's like more adult oriented books, or the ones that were geared more towards you know, young adults. Just because, like, I definitely felt like, you know, again, going from Goosebumps to those books, you know, in like 7th, 8th grade or something like that, you do kind of feel like, oh gosh, oh, there's like, oh, there's kissing now and stuff, and oh, these characters are like interested in other characters, and it's not all just like, oh, the characters are, you know, in this spooky situation, and they're like, what's going on? Oh boy. Yeah, but I didn't watch the like new Goosebumps movie. I didn't have much interested in it. You know, the 90s Goosebumps definitely has a bit of nostalgia for me, but yeah, didn't end up checking out the new one. Okay. Is there something else that I could take a look at here that could maybe get an extra 9 minutes out of? But just about 9 minutes, not something that I might go on a whole rant about. Unsexy color versus sexy color. I feel like I could maybe talk about that at a different point in time, but I don't think I could pull something out about it at this moment. Genuine person versus phony person. That could be a whole like 30-minute rant in and of itself at a certain point. Ugly word, beautiful word. Old-fashioned, avant-garde. True, false. Small number versus large number. Huh. The worst, the best. Worst era to time travel, best era to time travel. Talent versus skill, local issue versus global issue. Stationary versus mobile, little known fact, well known fact. Socialist, capitalist. Worst year in history, best year in history. I like how these two lined up. Short and long, and too small and too big. Oh, that. Relikai a real person? Shh. Bro, make it happen. I don't care. I want something to eat, a plant-based food item with mukbang. What? You want me to do a plant-based mukbang? I don't I don't know if I'd be up with that. What's this lookup mukbang? Somebody eating a salad or a plant-based burger. I could eat both of those in a single setting. Also, I did not know that this would be showing up. It says, unsexy Pokemon versus sexy Pokemon. Oh boy. Okay, you know what? To close out this stream, I do have to say, and this is one of the video ideas that I have had. I want to make a video where I talk about how Markiplier's Smash or Pass video might be one of the most important videos ever created on the internet, because it was insane. Just like, first of all, he just put that video out. Like, as far as I know, he just put that video out unprompted. The video starts with him literally just sitting down and then going through each Pokemon, just going pass, 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 pass. And then, you know, goes through all of them, starts getting into some smashes, and then once he's done, he's like, all right, I will not be explaining anything or taking any questions. Have a good day. And then turns the video off. And then the internet fucking broke. After that, literally, if you were a person who was, you know, in front of a camera on the internet or in front of a microphone, you made a Pokemon Smash or Pass video. And it's insane to me. It is insane to me, the sheer volume of people who are now suddenly very eager to come forward and tell you, oh yes, yes, me, right here. I too want to have sex with cartoon animals. Please pay attention to me. And it's like, wow, you all will just jump for anything. If it gets you views, you will do anything, won't you? Wow. Okay. So I just think it's so fascinating that everyone would come out and just be like, yes, please. I want my penis inside of cartoon anime animals. Please watch and listen and pay attention to me. It was just such a fascinating time. It was such a crazy time to live through and to witness it all happen firsthand. Like, again, go back. Like, when did that happen? 2022, 2023 or something like that? Go back and look up your favorite content creators, whatever videos or streams your favorite content creator was doing at that time. You will see a Pokemon Smash or Pass video. It's there. Go check right now. I dare you. They made one. I actually need to look this up real quick. When did that come out? Know your meme. Pokemon Smash. Markiplier's Pokemon Smash or Pass video. Yeah, there it is. Let's see. February 12th, 2022. All right. Go back to 2022. Look at any videos that your favorite content creator was making around that time. There will be one. It's there. And if it's not there, it is actually there. They just don't want you to see it anymore because because they realize, oh yeah, I just kind of did that, didn't I? I just went through 800 plus cartoon animals and said which ones that I either want inside of me or I want to be inside of. It's so fascinating to me. Leave Markiplier alone. His fan base is going to watch the stream in there to come after us. It's fine. It's fine. They're not. They don't know. They don't know we're here. Their eyesight is based on movement. So just stay perfectly still. Where's your Smash or Pass Digimon video? Yeah, people are starting to do that now, aren't they? With the new Digimon game out. I only know that one Digimon that everyone wants to fuck. The one with like the girl who looks like some sort of like gunslinger girl who's got the big titties. Yeah, I know that one. And I also saw this this thing that was like the stronger your connection with your Digimon, the more human-like they will look in order to like please you more. And so someone was like, yeah, this Digimon, you know, wants to give you the good old paizuri, and you just need to be okay with that. Look up Yukinamon. Oh boy. Kinamon. I don't think I'm getting... oh, wait. Oh, there she... Oh my. Yep, that is an icy lady. or is it? Or is she a fire lady? She's some kind of foxy lady, that's for certain. Okay. So she's like the opposite of the Digimon that I was looking at. Yeah, the other one was very top heavy. This one seems like a lot more bottom heavy. And I am okay with both of that. I hope the Jacksepticeye fanbase will come after us if he does his Smasher Pass video. But didn't he? Although I feel like Jacksepticeye is a little bit better than that. Jacksepticeye. I like Jacksepticeye, actually. Did he do it? Uh-oh. He did a Smasher Pass for FNAF. Okay. Good stuff. Hey, you know what? You put a little twist on it, you get a little extra respect points for that, at the very least. She came out like 3 weeks ago. Oh yeah, no, this Digimon game is gonna take over the fucking universe at this point. We're going to hell in a handbasket. We're not touching this with a 10-foot pole. I hope his fan base don't come after it. Guys, it's fine. Again, I told you, as long as you don't move, they're not going to see us. Something over Renamon. What kind of sicko are you? She's a fox kitsune. Nice. Digimon can go in all directions, like a Metatromon. Is this that name sounds familiar? Is that the one that I'm thinking of? Oh, it is like an angel. Yeah, that sounded angel-like because it sounded like Metatron. So, yeah, okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe if the Digimon keep getting sexy, then maybe I'll play that game eventually. Especially considering the fact that I'm pretty sure that the character designer for the game is the character designer for what was that called? Durarara and Yozakura Quartet. Kazuhito Yasuda. Yeah. Oh, he did all the other Digimon games too. Oh, well, that makes sense then. All right, good stuff. But yeah, I like his art style. He also did the art for Devil Summoner. Yeah, I like those games. They made a fake angel that's pure machine. Well, I mean, with a name like Metatron, like, you know, the Abrahamic Bible was basically asking for it. You know, they knew that like 2020 years in the future, someone would be making a new Digimon creature and be like, hey, what if we take Metatron, which sounds like a transformer, and make it into like a robot angel? Get it? Because its name sounds like a transformer, but it's an angel. That's funny, isn't it? Okay, yeah. Anywho, okay. I think we're gonna go ahead and call it there for the evening. I did it! I managed to do a whole yapping stream. You know, I was gonna say by myself, but I mean, like, you know, I had the fucking cards, I guess, and those kind of helped. That's for sure. So right now it seems like I basically need prompts to be able to like go off and start, you know, I just need a single prompt, or I need like a little nudge in the right direction, and then I can go off on like a fucking 25-minute tangent or something like that. So I think I could like maybe, you know, do more just chatting streams. Again, I just need like it helps when, you know, you guys are here and, you know, I can bounce things off of, because, you know, you guys mention something and then like, you know, when I start to run out of steam on like the thing that I'm talking about, you guys will say something and then I'll pick up like an extra like 15-20 minutes off of that. So yeah, it definitely helps when you guys actually, you know, stick around and contribute. So I thank you for that. So you know, if we do this again, which I mean we will at some point, then yeah, hopefully you guys will, you know, come around then to help me out then as well. How would you feel if someone made fan art of you as a Digimon, all your evolutions? I mean, that would be cool, you know? I'd be fine with that. Sounds dope. Want to see some joke they made? There's an entire line of Digimon based on chess. King Chessmon, Queen Chessmon. Look up the two names together. Oh boy. Alright, this is the last Digimon that I'm looking at for the night, okay? We're not turning this into a smash or pass Digimon, like, edition, alright? I'm sure someone else is already, you know, editing that video as we speak, so. Oh, he's a little guy. And she is a tall lady. Uh-huh. I mean, hey, if you're into size difference, then these are the Digimon for you, it would seem. So, hey, you know what? Good for King Chessmon. He's you know, he managed to pull a Krillin and get himself a baddie. You know what? I can respect it. All right? He's doing good. He's living his best life, and I applaud him for that. Pop off, King, literally, but not here. That's against TOS for both YouTube and Twitch. So please take it somewhere else, to the back of the chessboard, please. Chessboard is that the queen can go anywhere and the king moves one at a time. I mean, yeah, that is what they do in chess, and I'm immediately off rip, I thought like there might be some sort of like NTR joke or something there, but I mean, there's plenty of jokes that you could make out of that whole arrangement there. But yeah, guys, my voice is starting to wear a little thin, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it there for the night. So that is my first ever just chatting stream, honestly. So this definitely went a lot better than I thought it would. I want to thank anyone that decided to stop in to check out the stream and you know, chat a little bit, participate, even if it was just for a minute or two. Always appreciate it. No stream tomorrow, but on Thursday we're gonna be playing Unbeatable, which is one of the games that I've been looking forward to the most this year. So if you want to know when that'll be happening, go ahead and follow my Blue Sky or subscribe and follow, and you'll know when we go live. I know it's weird. These guys exist since the 2000s and they aren't in the game, only in the TCG. I'm sure they will take care of that soon with DLC. Just you wait. But yeah, guys, that's gonna go ahead and do it for me for tonight. So with all that being said, I hope you guys have yourselves a good night, a good day, a good morning, wherever it might be for you. Hopefully y'all have yourselves a good Wednesday tomorrow. I've got more mandatory overtime that I have to do tomorrow, so that's gonna be fun. And with any luck, I will hopefully see y'all on Thursday. So until then, stay groovy, everybody.